The emergency lights flickered crimson against the fractured panels of my ship's cockpit. Smoke curled from a ruptured conduit, staining the recycled air with a sharp scent of ozone and burnt polymer. I slammed my fist against the console, but the navigation array was already dead. "Come on," I muttered. "Not now." The Starling had taken a micrometeorite hit right through her left engine coil, just as I was trying to slingshot around Proxima B's upper atmosphere. My trajectory had gone from smooth to suicidal in less than 3 minutes. Now I was tumbling toward the surface of an uncharted moon orbiting the gas giant Uranus 9, a place no pilot in their right mind would visit willingly. The moon was slate gray and shrouded in mist, its atmosphere thin but barely breathable. My crash landing was less of a landing and more of a controlled disaster. The Starling skidded across a plain of jagged obsidian shards before embedding itself nose first into the dirt. When I woke, my head was ringing, my arm was cut open, and my ship looked like someone had taken a plasma torch to its bones. The main engine was gone. The reactor had vented half its coolant. I was, in every way that mattered, stranded. I spent the next few hours patching leaks, sealing hull breaches, and trying not to think about how long my oxygen supply would last. The Starling's distress beacon was working, but out here, deep in the outer reach, I doubted anyone would hear it. The second night fell fast. The planet's gas giant filled the horizon, bleeding green and violet light across the barren plain. I sat on the loading ramp, staring at the alien stars, wondering if this was how it ended for me. Forgotten, another lost name on the interstellar registry. That's when I saw her. At first, I thought the light was a reflection, maybe some aurora phenomenon. But then it moved, approaching slowly from the ridge to the east. A figure, tall and slender, wrapped in faint luminescence. I reached for my plasma pistol, but some quiet instinct, made me stop. The figure stepped into the soft light spilling from my ship, and I realized it was a woman, or something shaped like one. Her skin shimmered faintly, like liquid metal under a living membrane. Her hair, if that's what it was, floated around her shoulders like strands of static energy. Her eyes, gods, her eyes, were the color of deep space blue, with faint pinpricks of light swirling inside. "Your ship," she said, her voice both near and distant, like hearing a thought inside your skull. "It is broken." I nodded dumbly. "Yeah. Took a meteorite. Reactors toast. I'm lucky to be alive." She walked closer, bare feet whispering against the dust. "It can be repaired." And blinked. "You can fix it." She tilted her head. "I can make it fly again. But you must give me something first." Her tone wasn't threatening, just matter of fact, as though she were stating a universal rule. "What do you want?" Asked cautiously. "I don't have much left to trade. Food, maybe some power cells." She shook her head, eyes glinting faintly. "Not things. A memory." That made me laugh before I realized she wasn't joking. "A memory? What kind of trade is that?" "One precious to you," she said. "One that defines who you are." Her gaze was unblinking. There was no hint of deception in her face, but there was something ancient there, an intelligence I couldn't hope to match. I should have told her no. Should have sent her away. But survival makes you do strange things. "Fine," I said. "If you can get this heap flying, you can have a memory. Pick one." She stepped closer, reaching out with a hand that shimmered like liquid starlight. "I cannot choose. You must offer." I hesitated, then thought of my sister, Ava. Her laugh, the way she used to steal my flight gloves when we were kids, the night we watched the first shuttle leave Earth's atmosphere. It was the memory that had kept me sane through long jumps and dark voids. "That one," I said quietly. The alien woman's fingers brushed my temple. There was no pain, just a pulling sensation like something being carefully lifted out of me. I gasped, and for a heartbeat I saw it. A vision of Ava's face dissolving into streams of light that curled into her palm. Then it was gone. And so was she. When I woke the next morning, the Starling was humming. The engines, both of them, were online. The reactor core registered at 100%. The navigation array, the damaged conduits, even the hull breaches, all repaired. Perfectly. I staggered through the corridors in disbelief. Everything gleamed like it had rolled fresh from the assembly line. The alien woman had done it. She'd fixed everything. But something was wrong. When I tried to recall my sister's face, it was like reaching into fog. I could remember her name, her existence, but not her. The emotional weight was gone. The warmth, the laughter, the meaning behind every risk I'd taken. It had all vanished. I sat there for hours, staring at the humming reactor, feeling emptier than I'd ever felt before. I should have left right then. But curiosity, or maybe guilt, kept me there. I wanted to find her again, to ask why she needed my memory, what she intended to do with it. So I followed her trail east across the obsidian plains. The ground glittered beneath the glow of Uranus 9, and faint footprints shimmered where she had walked. After half a day, I reached a valley filled with enormous, translucent pillars, like frozen lightning bolts erupting from the earth. The air thrummed faintly, alive with static. And there she was, standing in the center of the valley, her hands raised toward the sky. Threads of light coiled between the pillars, feeding into her form. The stolen memory pulsed inside her chest like a small, living sun. "What are you doing?" shouted. She turned slowly, her expression calm. Becoming. Becoming what?" She stepped toward me. "My kind was broken long ago. Scattered. To heal, we require the essence of what you call memory, emotion bound to experience. It is energy that cannot be created, only shared. You gave me what I needed." I stared, unable to find words. "You're using my sister's memory to rebuild yourself?" "Yes," she said simply. "Without it, I would fade. You have given me life." My fists clenched. "You could have told me that before you took it." She regarded me, unblinking. "Would you have offered it freely, knowing what it meant?" I wanted to scream at her, but I couldn't. 'Cause she was right. I wouldn't have. "You don't understand," I said quietly. "That memory, it was my life." Her gaze softened, almost human now. "Then perhaps you will understand this. Life requires sacrifice, even among the stars." She turned away, and the light around her intensified. The pillars vibrated, humming like the chords of some alien instrument. I shielded my face as energy surged outward. When the light faded, she was gone. In her place stood a crystalline structure, faintly pulsing with light. Within it, I thought I saw her silhouette, peaceful, motionless. I stood there a long time before returning to my ship. The Starling left orbit smoothly, engines purring like they had never been damaged. I charted a course for the nearest colony, but I couldn't shake the hollowness inside me. Space stretched endlessly ahead, but every time I looked at the stars, I felt like part of me was missing, like I was watching the universe through someone else's eyes. I began recording logs, hoping to fill the emptiness with words. Day 12. Systems remain optimal. The alien technology, whatever it was, has fused seamlessly with the ship's core. Energy efficiency up by 37%. Day 18. Still no sign of rescue signals. Dreams have become strange. I see a woman made of light, standing in a sea of crystal. Day 25. I think she's calling to me. I didn't want to believe it, but each night, I heard the faint hum of the crystal pillars echoing through my ship's calm array. Sometimes a voice whispered my name. I heard my sisters laugh. Weeks later, I approached the Veil Nebula, a luminous cloud of ionized gas that pulsed like a living thing. I hadn't intended to come here. My autopilot had rerouted without command input. As the nebula filled my view, the ship's systems began to react. Panels flickered. Instruments glowed with unreadable symbols. The alien woman's voice resonated through the cockpit, soft and melodic. "You returned," she said. "I didn't mean to," I muttered. "What's happening to my ship?" "The Starling is part of me now," she replied. "And you are part of me as well. The memory you gave was a bridge, a link between your life and my rebirth." "Why me?" "Because you still remember loss," she said. "Even without the memory itself, the absence defines you. You understand what we were." The nebula shimmered outside, its colors deepening to impossible hues. I felt something stir inside the ship, a pulse that matched my heartbeat. "What do you want from me now?" I whispered. "To show you what you gave," she said. The viewport dissolved into light. I was standing on the crystalline plane again, surrounded by the aliens' kind, figures of living radiance, thousands of them, rising from the ground like resurrected stars. In the center stood the woman, radiant and serene. She reached out her hand. "You have given life to us. Let us give you meaning again." When her hand touched mine, I felt a surge of warmth, a flood of sensations I couldn't name. Laughter, love, pain. All the emotions I'd lost came rushing back. But they weren't mine anymore, they were ours. Then the light consumed everything. When I woke, I was drifting in orbit above the nebula. The Starling systems were calm, humming in quiet rhythm. My last log entry blinked on the console, though I had no memory of recording it. The alien woman kept her word. She fixed my ship. But she also fixed something else, something I didn't know was broken. She asked for a memory, and in return she gave me eternity. I stared at the nebula one last time before setting a new course, unsure whether I was still entirely human, or whether some part of me had become one of the lights shimmering in that alien sky. As the Starling leapt into the void, I thought I heard her voice again, faint but unmistakable. "Fly well, traveler. We remember you." And for the first time in a long while I smiled.